She was beautiful, noble, and powerful, but behind the stone walls of her castle, something unspeakable was happening. Some say she bathed in blood to stay young. Others say she was framed to erase her name from history. This is the story of Elizabeth Báthory, the Bloody Countess. She was born into nobility in 1560 in the heart of the Kingdom of Hungary. From the very beginning, Elizabeth Báthory's life was one of privilege and whispers. Her family's bloodline was powerful. Kings, bishops, warriors, and rumors of madness. She was educated in Latin, German, Greek, and Hungarian, unusual for a woman of her time. She could debate philosophy and command a household. But behind the refinement, there were signs. Some say she suffered from seizures. Others claimed she would fall into sudden rages. Even as a child, her temper was feared. At 15, she married Count Ferenc Nadasdy, a warrior known as the Black Knight of Hungary. Their union merged two great houses and sealed her fate. She grew up in a world of elegance, surrounded by cruelty. With her husband constantly at war, Elizabeth ruled their estate alone, and it was then that darkness took root inside the castle walls. Servants began to disappear. Young maids were sent to her chambers and never seen again. Those who remained spoke in hushed voices of punishments for the smallest mistakes. Burned, beaten, stabbed with needles under the fingernails. Some were doused in freezing water and left outside to die. The walls absorbed their screams, and the rumors began to spread. Something is wrong in Shate Castle. But no one dared speak openly. She was a noblewoman, untouchable.
One night, the legend says, a maid pulled Elizabeth's hair too hard while brushing it. The Countess struck her, so hard that the girl's blood splattered across Elizabeth's hand. And when she looked down, her skin, where the blood had touched, appeared younger, or so the story goes. From that moment on, her obsession grew. Dozens of girls were lured to the castle with promises of work. They never returned. Some say she killed over 600 victims, their blood drained, their bodies hidden, their flesh torn by iron tongs, their limbs broken. She collected their blood. She bathed in it. And with each drop, she believed she was cheating time itself. She believed youth came at a price, and she was willing to pay it in blood. By 1610, the whispers had turned into outcry. Too many girls had vanished. Too many families had questions. King Matthias of Hungary sent an investigator, Elizabeth's own cousin, Georg Thurzo. What he found was unspeakable. Dozens of bodies, tools of torture, a black diary listing names and deaths. Over 300 witnesses testified. Servants confessed, some under torture themselves. The scale of the horror was undeniable. But Elizabeth was a noble. She would not face trial. Instead, she was sealed inside her own castle. A single bricked-up room, no windows, only a slit for food. There she remained, alone, forgotten, until she died 4 years later. Was she truly the monster they described? Or was she the victim of a political purge, a wealthy, widowed woman with too much power and too few allies? Some say the testimonies were exaggerated. Others claim her enemies wanted her lands, her fortune, her silence. Perhaps she was guilty of cruelty, but not of legend. She was rich, educated, feared. In a time when women were expected to remain quiet, perhaps her true crime wasn't what she did, but what she was. What do you believe? Was she the most sadistic killer in history? Or a victim of a story told by men who needed her erased? Subscribe to uncover more stories the world tried to bury.